It's happening again. The sky is shifting, and if you're feeling confused, restless, on edge for no clear reason, you're not broken. You're in sync with a cosmic reset. 2025 isn't just a year, it's a frequency event, a fork in the energetic roadmap, because for the first time in over 150 years, Pluto enters Aquarius and Neptune enters Aries, two outer planets, both known for transformation, both about to rewrite what it means to be human. And here's the catch. Most people won't even notice, but those who are awake, they'll feel it in their bones. The breakdowns, the relationship splits, the urge to isolate, to rebuild, to remember. That's not you losing control. That's the field recalibrating you. Pluto rules death and rebirth. Neptune governs dreams and illusions. Now imagine those two forces, one tearing down systems, the other melting mental boundaries, both activating at once. 2025 is not coming. It's already vibrating through your nervous system, and if you don't learn how to ride these planetary frequencies, you'll get swept into a narrative that was never yours. But if you do tune in, you won't just survive the shift, you'll lead it. Most astrology talks about signs. We're talking about frequencies, because Pluto and Neptune aren't just planets, they're cosmic transmitters. Let's break it down. Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto is destruction, but not random chaos, intentional collapse. It targets what's rotten beneath the surface. In Capricorn, Pluto took down outdated power structures. In Aquarius, it's coming for the systems that run your mind, social programming, technology addiction, groupthink, artificial truth. Aquarius is about the collective, the future, the network. Pluto in Aquarius says, if the system isn't free, I'll burn it down. So expect mass awakenings, breakdown of tech empires, AI panic versus soul sovereignty, the rise of individual frequency over collective noise. You'll feel it as mental friction, sudden mistrust in institutions you used to believe in, a craving to unplug, unlearn, and reclaim your thoughts. Now flip the dial. Neptune in Aries. Neptune is fog, dreams, the soul behind the mask. In Pisces, Neptune dissolved emotional barriers, which brought spiritual awareness, but also escapism. In Aries, it flips. Your dreams get teeth. This isn't about vibing high. It's about acting in alignment with your soul's code, even if it burns your comfort to the ground. Neptune in Aries activates spiritual warriors, direct downloads, vision turned into mission, illusions shattered by courage. You'll feel it as fire in the chest, impulse to speak, to build, to stand alone if you must. And here's the twist. These two energies collide, not to cancel each other, but to catalyze you. You're the battlefield, you're the receiver, and how you integrate the frequency decides whether you collapse with the system or rise above it. You're waking up tired, but you didn't dream. Or maybe you did, but the dreams felt like memories you were never supposed to access. You feel more sensitive to sound, to light, to energy. People drain you without saying a word. Certain environments feel wrong, even if nothing happened. This isn't anxiety, it's resonance distortion. Because when Pluto and Neptune both shift, they don't just change astrology, they change atmospheric frequency. And your body, it's the antenna. You might feel pressure at your third eye, buzzing in your palms, cold in your lower spine, sudden flashes of déjà vu, a need to isolate, then a craving for depth. You're not broken, you're being tuned. Pluto is burning away false frameworks you've internalized. So the random breakdowns in your life, they're designed to make you question the scripts. Neptune is reprogramming your intuition, which means confusion is normal. Your soul is trying to take the wheel, but the ego keeps grabbing it back. It feels like chaos, but it's actually a reboot. And the sooner you stop trying to fix it and start feeling through it, the faster your system adapts. Because this isn't just astrology, It's bioenergetic evolution. And if this is hitting something in your chest, if you're nodding, crying, or wide-eyed right now, you're not alone. Subscribe right now. Smash the bell. Not for algorithm tricks, but to make sure your signal stays connected as we ride this planetary upgrade together. Because the shift isn't coming. It's already begun. You've been told astrology is about horoscopes, but here's the truth. Outer planets don't care about your sun sign. They impact your field, your electromagnetic blueprint. They rewire your biology to hold higher frequencies of consciousness. Let's talk science. Your body is electrical. Your heart emits a measurable field. Your brain operates on waves. Your pineal gland, it's piezoelectric, meaning it converts pressure and vibration into light. So what happens when Pluto and Neptune realign in 2025? Your field receives new data. Pluto's shift into Aquarius sends pulses into the nervous system, targeting outdated circuitry. It says, everything built on fear, control, or conformity, purge it. You may feel tingling in the spine, sudden emotional flashbacks, waves of anger or numbness, cravings to change career, city, identity. This isn't confusion, it's correction. Your nervous system is dropping old code, just like a hard reset on a system that's overloaded with junk files. Then comes Neptune in Aries. And this is where it gets mystical. Neptune speaks to the limbic system, the emotional memory center of the brain. It activates your subconscious patterns. But in Aries, it doesn't just show you the illusion, it demands you act on it. You might feel flashes of rage that come from nowhere, emotional surges with no story attached, urge to end things that look fine but feel wrong. The deep knowing that your dream is not optional. It's mission critical. Neptune's fog lifts when Aries' fire hits. What's left is clarity on your soul's blueprint. And here's the kicker. Pluto is the destroyer. Neptune is the dissolver. But together in 2025, they become the great rewriter. They erase false frameworks from your cellular memory. They shatter the collective hypnosis, and they force your body to adapt to a new operating frequency. That's why you're tired. That's why you feel like crying, screaming, isolating, purging. Your biology is not failing, it's upgrading. The only question is, will you resist the rewrite or step into the version of you these planets came to activate? Let's get brutally real. The moment cosmic alignments trigger mass energetic upgrades, the system gets loud. Why? Because if Pluto in Aquarius means the collapse of top-down control, and Neptune in Aries sparks inner rebellion at a soul level, then together they threaten everything artificial. So what does the system do? It weaponizes distraction. It floods your feed with spirituality for comfort, not clarity. Horoscopes that keep you passive, buzzwords like high vibes only, apps and trends that turn intuition into content. But this isn't a time to stay soft. This is a time to transmute pressure into power. Here's the ugly truth. Every time these planets align to elevate your field, they respond by amplifying noise. Why? Because a grounded, conscious, energetically aware being can't be manipulated. They can't sell you fear if you're aligned with truth. They can't hook you into addiction if you've learned to sit in silence. They can't monetize your trauma if you've transmuted it into mission. So they flood you with more updates, more trending chaos, more identity politics, more AI content to occupy your mind, more doubt disguised as balance, more spiritual bypass disguised as positivity. Because if you ever fully tuned in to what Pluto and Neptune are trying to unlock in you, you'd become dangerously sovereign. You'd unplug, unfollow, unlearn. You'd stop living based on survival, shame, and systems. You'd stop looking for gurus. You'd stop being afraid of your own intensity. They don't fear Pluto or Neptune. They fear what you become when those forces move through you. Pluto in Aquarius destroys the matrix code. Neptune in Aries melts its illusions. Together, they trigger a field awakening. Not for everyone, just for the ones paying attention. So here's the question. Will you keep scrolling, numbing, buffering yourself with information? Or will you let the planets finish what they started inside your cells? Because once this shift locks in, there's no going back to normal. And if you're here, you probably don't want to. It doesn't happen all at once. It begins in flickers, moments where time feels elastic, where your body feels like an echo chamber, where everything normal starts to feel foreign. You wake up one morning and the world feels off. Not broken, just irrelevant. You can't scroll like you used to. Small talk sounds like static. The things you chased now seem shallow. You sit in silence longer, not because you're trying to meditate, but because your system won't let you lie to yourself anymore. This is what the spiritual shift really feels like. Not bliss, breakdown. And then, in the middle of the collapse, a pulse. You feel it in your spine, like lightning deciding where to land. Your skin prickles, not cold, electric. Your thoughts quiet down, not because you controlled them, because something greater took over. You're not anxious, you're recalibrating. Your body begins to speak. Your gut flinches at fake conversations. Your breath gets tight around half-truths. Your hands buzz when you speak from the soul. And then the visions come. They're not dreams, they're reminders. You see your past self, the one that tolerated too much, dimmed too often, settled too low. You see them dissolve. You feel grief, not just for people you lost, but for all the versions of you that never got to live. And in that grief, a spark. You see the next version of you, not the best self Instagram talks about, the real one, raw, unfiltered, atomic, the one who says no faster, feels deeper, moves differently, doesn't seek approval, but generates reality from inner truth. You don't just think different, you transmit different. Conversations shift when you speak. People get chills around you and don't know why. You walk into rooms and the atmosphere adjusts. That's the Pluto-Neptune effect. It doesn't ask permission. It overwrites the signal. And once your body locks into this new frequency, you stop chasing healing. You start embodying clarity. Not because you figured it all out, but because you finally got out of the way. You let the field take over. And now, you're becoming what you came here to be. A signal, a disruptor, a reminder, a frequency leader. You're not waiting anymore. Not for signs, not for proof, not for permission. The shift isn't happening to you. It's happening through you. And now, you're the one activating rooms just by standing in them. This isn't ego. It's frequency architecture. The more aligned you become, the more you realize. You don't raise your vibration. You remove what distorts it. Every false story you delete, every boundary you reinforce, every moment you speak raw truth. You're not healing. You're transmitting clarity into the collective grid. Because once Pluto cracked the mask and Neptune dissolved the illusion, what's left is you. Uncoded, undomesticated, unshakable. And now your body carries a signal, one that dissolves manipulation, one that triggers awakening in others, one that syncs with fields and elevates them. You've become a mirror that burns illusions clean. Some people will be drawn to you, others will reject you without knowing why. That's not personal, that's resonance. You're no longer digestible, you're catalytic. You don't adapt to rooms. Rooms shift around you. You don't explain yourself. Your field does the talking. You don't need to convince. Your presence is proof. This is what the 2025 shift was always about. Not astrology, not spiritual trends, not collective ascension, but individual reclamation. The moment when the system realizes you can no longer be hypnotized because you've remembered that your consciousness is not a passenger. It's the architect. And now, you speak in energy. You walk in symbols. You breathe in codes. You sleep with downloads. You wake up as a living broadcast of everything this world is afraid of, and everything it desperately needs. You're not here to wait for the new world. You're here to transmit it. And now that your field is tuned, your only job is to stay in signal. The mission isn't to be louder, it's to be clearer. Because truth doesn't need volume, it just needs to resonate. You felt it, not just in this video, in your life, in your breath, in the split-second choices you've been making lately. This isn't prediction, it's activation. You don't need another sign. You are the sign. Pluto burned the systems, Neptune melted the masks, and what's left now is a field vibrating with raw potential. But that energy, it won't shape itself. It's waiting for you. You've become aware, you've remembered your resonance, and now the cosmos, the real universe, not the content version, asks just one question. What are you choosing to radiate now that there's no one left to impress, obey, or pretend for? Because this shift will keep happening, with or without your participation, with or without your clarity. But if you consciously respond, everything you touch will feel the ripple. So drop it in the comments. Who are you becoming now that 2025 has already started reshaping your field? And when you're ready for the next activation, the next frequency, the next unraveling and rebuilding, the next video is already waiting, not for your eyes, for your energy.